Hello eye tracking community. My name is Michael and in this video we will talk about the basics of the user interface in Blickshift Analytics. In the previous videos we have learned the basics of how to analyze eye tracking data and how to get the data into our software. And in this video I would like to show you the main user interface concepts and features in our software. In the previous video, we have imported some CSV data into Blickshift Analytics, and this is the screen which is shown after the import. On the top, we will see the visualizations and the analysis. It's called dashboard windows. And on the bottom, we will see, or we can already see, the Workflow Explorer. And the Workflow Explorer shows how the data is flowing through the application, from left to right. Once you have imported the data, you can check the import with the project manager. And here we can see the scenarios, so tasks and stimuli together as pairs. We can see the participants, so here we have 30 participants imported into the software, and we can see the media files, which belong typically to the scenarios. Like here, the bar chart. Please have a look about the task and the experimental setup in the previous video. And now the analysis starts. Everything starts here from the bottom left. So I click here with a right mouse click on the data source bar graph, and for example, I choose the scan path visualization. By the way, I can achieve the same when I click either here on one of these icons representing the visualizations and the analysis components, or I go to the menu and choose here Scan Path Visualization. Now the data flows from the bar graph source, data source, to the visualization on the right side. I click here on the Scan Path Visualization, and now we can have a look at this dashboard window. On the left, we have the Data Explorer. So we have a data set selected, the name is bar graph. We have here the different scenarios and here the participants. I can adjust here the height of the different list box, just to see more, for example, of the participants. We have the visualizations in the middle, in the center of the screen. Here, the scan path visualization. On the right, we have the panel where we can set different parameters of this visualization. Some of these parameters are preset, like for example, the column in the data. So in the CSV files, there's a column with the name fixation X and another column which is called fixation Y. And in these columns, or from these columns, our software now gets the X and the Y coordinate of the gazes or fixations on the stimulus. And you can change these presets by going here to the bar graph, so to the data source, and here by clicking here on or by changing here the preset columns here. So for example, for the gazes, we have gaze X and gaze Y, and for the fixations, which we can see in the scan path visualization, I've selected the column fixation X and fixation Y. And there are some other columns which are also available, which we can select. So from here, we can go now in many different directions. One is, for example, to open another visualization in a second dashboard window, like a second heat map or a second visualization, a heat map. And this visualization is now shown in a separated dashboard window. So we have here the heat map, and in another tab, we have the scan path visualization. If I want to show now scan paths and heat maps in parallel, so I delete here the two visualizations by clicking here on the X on the right side of the visualization component. And if I want to add another visualization to this visualization dashboard window, I click here on the scan path in the bottom right, so on this gray box here, and choose Visualizations Heat Map. And now we have two visualizations in the same dashboard window. And the idea here is now that I can now change here the parameters on the left side, and this change is applied to both visualizations in parallel. So for example, I can say I want not to see P1, I want now to see P2, and so I can see now P2 or P3. and so on. And both visualizations are refreshed because they are coupled. If I want to select two visualizations, I select, if I want to select two participants, I select two participants. And now it looks like this, so I don't see the visualizations really in a nice way or not complete. So I go here now to the Comment tab, and here I can change the overall layout of the dashboard window. I deactivate the layout wizard and choose, for example, here the scenario grid as the main layout. And then I can see the visualizations again paired for the stimuli in this case, for example. In the last step, I would like to show you the concept of how we are handling participants very efficiently in the software. So here on the left side, we can see the 30 participants as a list. And for example, I can say check all here from the menu, and all the participants or the data of all the participants are shown. So 30 participants, 30 scan paths on one screen. Let's have a look at these icons here. For example, I can aggregate these 30 participants. And now they are shown in one visualization. It's a question if this visualization makes sense. In the previous videos, I've shown you how to analyze such a data in a very efficient way. Please watch the video. And we have here two other icons, like for example, show filter. So here, for example, I can say I'm now interested only in P1. So everything where the 1 is shown, or the participant name contains the 1 is shown. So, or I can use here the group by option. That's a very efficient tool how we can group participants by different metadata. I will show you this feature in more detail in a future video. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you learned something new, if you find the user interface of Blickshift Analytics is a cool user interface, please press the like button, and I'm happy to see you in the next video.